This is my life with albinism.
Now, this is my life with albinism.
And this is my life with albinism.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Life with Albinism. I'm your host, Dale, and I have a special guest here today, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
I'm Jordan.
All right, so I actually just met you here at the NOAACon conference, so I want you to tell the people, what your social medias are, what you do for a living, and just tell them a little bit about yourself.
For one, my social media on Instagram is going to be James2Jordan. A little bit about myself. I'm 24 years old. I just moved to New York recently. Well, I'm going to say upstate New York recently in last September to kind of continue pursuing my modeling dreams and music dreams and further that more and more.
Okay, so you currently model.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't done photo shoots in about a year since I started my hair. I wanted my hair to get to a point to where I could, yeah.
So what, you feel like they're not calling you now because of the hair?
No, it's not that.
Oh.
I haven't tried to do a photo shoot. I haven't reached out to any photographers. I haven't put out any effort to try to do a photo shoot within a year. Because I wanted to get to a point to where I have my own place like I do now.
Right.
I'm not just struggling trying to set up a photo shoot here when I don't even have my balance at home. I wanted to have a situation that I'm in now where I have a house I can go back to, and plus I'm closer to New York City to where I can still do photo shoots whenever I want.
Okay.
That was the main goal, just to get closer to New York City, because a lot of the great photographers that I've already met are in New York City.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that, because when it comes to New York City, almost anything that you want to do, you can do it here. Like if you wanted to make it big in the music industry, in the fashion industry, in the photography industry, New York is like the mecca for all of those things.
New York, I kind of call it like my inspiration place. When I first came to New York, it was 2018, and like literally my first interaction with the city was just pure love. Like I literally fell in love with it from the moment it's a gate, that's a bridge, that you enter when you enter New York City.
Right.
And we paid the toll to enter, and instantly when I entered, it was it was just like a whole different feeling. I seen just cars just vroom, vroom, and you just hear it, it's like you hear non-stop noise 24/7, but that wasn't even like the thrilling part. The thrilling part was when we got out the car, we went to Dunkin' Donuts, and instantly I got walked up to by a model scout that same day.
Really?
It was Shamir. He owns Scorpion Model Agency. He didn't want to sign me.
That's the same one that signed DeAndre.
Yeah, he's our manager. He didn't want to sign me personally. He said that my IGs, I guess, looked the same as everyone. But that could have shut somebody down. But in my mind, that inspired me 10 times more.
To go even harder.
It just told me no matter what anybody say, I'm him in my mind. I really
am. So I want to get into your story. So tell me about how has living with albinism been for you, even in like your younger years and in your teenage years. Like, what's your story and what are some of the things you've gone through with albinism?
I'm going to break it down into like a couple of different segments.
There we go. All right. I like that.
When I was a child, growing up, it's like going through these different segments, my realization on albinism keeps changing. So I just want to say that in the beginning.
Okay.
As a child, I think the main thing I felt was the whole world was against me. That was like my biggest perception on everything. Now, I'll probably say that segment was probably from the age of, obviously, newborn, maybe into the age of 9, maybe 10.
Wow.
I grew so much anger over those years. I literally felt like not even just the world outside of my home, but the people in my home also together really just hated me. Full on hated me. It was a point where I told my mom that I wanted her to send me back to my actual biological mom.
So when you say the people in your home, are you speaking about like your family was negative towards you?
They weren't negative towards me. I don't want to ever say it like that, but they were a typical family. They never gave me they never was soft on me because I was albino. That's what I was trying to say. They never was like, oh, you albino, you white, or you know what I'm saying. It was never nothing like that.
So it was never malicious.
Never.
So what it sounds like you're saying is it was like tough love. Like,
yeah.
We're not going to treat you more delicate just because you're
definitely.
Okay.
My mom, none of my family members ever treated me differently because they knew I couldn't see, because they knew I couldn't do certain things. I don't care. You're gonna get up and do it the same way. My mom had she would tell us. I remember this specifically. She told me to go get her keys off of her dresser. Mm-hmm. She said, "Now if your sister go and get them and you couldn't find them, I'm gonna beat you." I couldn't find the keys.
You know what's so funny? You just jogged my memory when you said that, because I remember those days when my mom would be like, "Go get this off my dresser," or "Go grab this for me," and I could never find the stuff, and she would, and I would take so long to go get it, and she would have the same reaction like your mom did, where it's like, "Yo, why you can't find what I'm asking you? I told you it's right." I'm like, "Yo, I really can't see where it's at," So, okay, so you were saying that they kind of gave you more of like a tough love.
Yeah. So,
okay, and then, but you said you felt like the outside world hated you? Talk
definitely.
about that.
So when I was younger, my dad was never in my life that much. My dad and my mom split up when I was 3.
Okay.
I didn't see my dad again until my uncle died when I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So I guess maybe, I don't want to say that kind of helped me scope that image, but a lot of the things that people also said and him not being there kind of just put 2 and 2 together. Like, your dad probably left because once he seen it was a white baby coming out, he didn't want to be there. He think like that ain't his child, and all I'm thinking is, dang, maybe that's the truth. Like,
and those words started getting true.
Yeah, it really did. And I put a story in my head to, make excuses for my dad. I literally told my mom, I said, my dad is R. Kelly. It was a point to I really told my mom that for 10 years straight, I thought my dad was R. Kelly. Because
what does R. Kelly got to do with it?
Cause I thought I'm serious. I thought he was like touring the world, being famous, like too busy to like deal with. I'm serious. I thought like he was just doing shows, like making movies so big that he couldn't come back and see me. Because to me, he really did look like him. When I tell people this, they be like, "Yo, dad don't look nothing like R. Kelly." But to me, as a child, he really did genuinely look like him. Or maybe I just sculpted that image to him. If that makes sense. Cause I loved R. Kelly. I used to love his music. Like, I Believe I Can Fly. I was in love with Trapped in the Closet, all of that stuff. Like,
right.
I won't lie about none of that stuff. I was a huge, diehard R. Kelly fan.
Right.
So I guess I kind of sculpted that onto him.
Okay. And when you talk about, like, you feeling like the outside world hated you, is that from, like, being bullied, the people bullying you,
Definitely. But I wouldn't just say it was just from the bullying, though. I would say more so it was from, like, the words.
The words, okay.
Yeah, because I did get bullied, like, physically bullied but it all stimulated from the words people were saying. Because I think the altercations mainly happened from my anger.
Right.
It was
and
always
from the words, stemming from the words.
Definitely. It was always the words.
So, with that being said, did you have, like, a transition of trying to become more comfortable and more confident in your albinism? Like, did you used to have low self-esteem because of your albinism and then grew to be confident?
If I'm being honest, I still think to this day I'm not fully confident. I still have some insecurity. I was just telling Ayana, I'm still insecure to this day. I still fake it until I make it. I show nobody my insecurities. Like, I don't even like looking people in the eyes, yet I stare you right in the eyes right now. You wouldn't even notice.
Wow.
I don't like people seeing
now that's interesting, right? Because you're being honest enough right now to tell me that you still suffer from insecurities. Can you talk about that? What are some of the insecurities that you have? Are you insecure about your looks? Are you insecure about
Not at all. Not the looks no more. It ain't the looks no more. It's
all right,
more so about just certain things I can't control. Like,
so tell me, what are you insecure about?
I'm 24 years old. I don't have a license yet. That kind of makes me insecure about that.
Okay, a driver's license.
That's probably my biggest insecurity. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Some days I really sit there and cry. Like, all of my friends, my little brother's 17 years old. He already got his license. That made me cry.
But it's gotta be something more than that, because I mean, just not being able to drive. I mean, that ain't.
No, that's a lot.
I mean,
in New York City.
No. I mean,
just walk.
Not being able to drive is a lot. It does impact a lot of your life. But I mean, to be insecure about it. I'm thinking there's got to be something.
That's my insecurity now.
Okay.
That's my insecurity now.
Right. That's
Before, like I said, I'm not insecure about my looks. But if you ask me my insecurity now, yeah, that is my insecurity. That's like my biggest insecurity now. I'm a grown man, and I can't, that's my biggest insecurity, definitely.
But is it the only one?
Only one I can think of. Oh, no, I'm sorry. In my stagnancy, I don't like looking people in the eyes.
Okay.
I don't like looking people in the eyes, because I don't like seeing my eyes move.
You know what's so funny is, like, of course, our eyes move, but we don't realize it. And I always thought to myself, like, how weird must that look for the other person?
I didn't know until I was in 6th grade that they even did that.
Until people keep telling you.
Until
people keep telling you. But it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I always think, like, that must look weird. And then, of course, you get the silly comments of people that's like, oh, why your eyes moving like that?
I tried to stare in the mirror one day to, like, see if I could see my eye. I never can really see it.
Because it can't happen like that. That's why. Reason being is because when you look in the mirror, you're dead focused. You're center focused. So your pupils are not going to move. Mm-hmm. What makes your pupils move is when you're not focused on one particular object. So it's the same thing with other people, right? Like, if you was to look at someone and look directly into their eyes, your pupils wouldn't move. But if you were just, I guess if it makes sense, like if you were just looking at them and talking, your pupils would move. But when you lock on to something visually, that's when it doesn't. So if you look in the mirror, you just won't see it. And I used to do that too. But here's how you can catch that, right? Look in the mirror, but don't look directly at yourself. Like, kind of just look at the surroundings, and then you'll see your eyes move. But
I want to go back to what you said about the insecurities right now.
Okay.
So the driving thing is still that's definitely my number one insecurity. Because I'm not gonna lie, that actually makes me like really sad.
Okay.
But I think I have overcame a lot of my insecurities though. On the flip side.
So tell us about some of the ones that you've overcame.
I used to be insecure just about being albino in general. I didn't want to show anybody my skin. It was.
So you would like wear hoodies a lot.
I wore hoodies day and night. I still do that now, but it's not because like I'm hiding anything. Honestly, that's just the type of person I am. I just like to wear hoodies. Right. Like, people think I'm weird. I wear it in the sun, but I don't know. I just like wearing it.
You just like hoodies.
But when I was a child, it really was because I didn't want people to like look at me, especially the hairstyle. Right. They instantly knew I was different from my hair. Instantly, they would just instantly know.
That's interesting. So you would wear hoodies when you was younger to hide the skin, hide the hair.
It was mainly for my hair. I always kept my head covered. I didn't want people to like notice me too much. I would always walk with my head down, and that was another one of my insecurities. Walking with my head down. My mom had to like teach me to keep your head high so you can go high. Keep your head low. You want to look into
what helped you get over these insecurities?
What helped me get over the insecurities?
Yeah.
Probably most likely I would say modeling did. Modeling.
Really? So it took for someone else to see the beauty in you to say, you know what, you look good enough to model.
It wasn't even that. Because 90% of the people that shoot me only shoot me because I'm albino. They don't see no beauty. They don't see no beauty in me. They see beauty in my skin color. And I was just telling I was just telling Ayana this today. I have talents outside of being albino. I'm a great writer. I'm a great person in general. Get to know me. You don't even know I'm gonna be the man. I tell everybody that. Like, I'm not just a person with albinism. I'm Jordan, and I want people to know the Jordan underneath the person with albinism. Because I have a lot more talent than just looking good with albinism. Like, I stopped shooting with a lot of photographers because they would just be like, "We need this person with albinism. We need you. You actually look different than everybody else with albinism." Okay.
And you know what? I tend to think that a lot too. Like, if you notice, it's very common that somebody with albinism has a modeling career, especially ones that have like your kind of body type, right? The slender ones. They almost always. I can't tell you how many people I've done a podcast with that model with albinism, and I feel like a lot of the times these photographers are not looking at the beauty in the person. They're looking at, you look different, and that's why I want to film.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That literally is what it is. Like, me and one of my friends from Atlanta, his name is Rashid. He's also albino. We did a photo shoot, I think that was maybe 2019. But the photos were horrible. The photographer thought it was just amazing. Yeah, this is great. And we're looking at the photos like, we look like we some puppy dogs. Like, this looks horrible. Like, this actually looks horrible. But of course, like, I'm just now starting my modeling career. I was just only like 2 years out of high school. I didn't really say anything about it. I didn't voice my opinion at that moment.
Right.
But when we were talking, I was sitting there discussing it to him. I'm like, I felt like he didn't actually put a concept to that photo shoot. The concept was, let me shoot these two albino.
Right, because they look different.
But when anybody shoot I don't want to put no race into it, but when anybody shoot any particular body else, they have a concept. It's always a concept. What are we going to do here? What is the purpose of this shoot? I want somebody to look at my photos and be like, I see the meaning behind this shoot. I see why he did this. I see what this means. Like, I see the message behind this shoot.
Yeah, beyond the albinism.
But honestly, the confidence wasn't from the photographers. It was from me looking at my photos and like noticing like.
Okay, because I thought that's what you meant at first. I thought you meant like because they saw you as good looking.
Not at all.
Okay, so you're saying it was you seeing the product and being able to say, "Wow, I am a handsome guy. Look at these photos."
Me, like literally looking at the difference of when I first started taking. Because when I first started taking pictures, my modeling was my friend getting on her iPhone, taking me pictures. You know, I'm posting up in front of the store. This was my modeling. That was modeling for me until I started actually doing real photo shoots and not even just paying people for photo shoots, getting paid for photo shoots. This is now the modeling now. But when I first started modeling, it was, okay, let's go to this store. Let's go to this store. We're going to take some pictures in front of this window. We're going to take in front of this window. Hashtag Atlanta photographer. That was my modeling. So just seeing the difference of that versus the things that I've done now, that gave me confidence. Not none of the photographers. Because I have met a great bunch of great photographers. I don't want to ever say I haven't. But it was me noticing the beauty within myself. Because nobody can help you notice the beauty within yourself like yourself. Somebody can tell you you're amazing 100 times. You got to actually know it yourself in order to feel it.
Yeah.
So I just started looking deep into myself and like looking at my insecurities, like looking at pictures of my eyes and looking at stuff I don't like about myself and seeing like the small beauty in it. Like,
Wow. That's really important because, you know, a lot of people with albinism that are adults still have the low self-esteem. They still struggle with, you know, finding the beauty in themselves and things like that, you know. And I've always wondered about that because for me in particular, I was never insecure about my looks or my albinism or anything. So when I talk to people who are and they're adults, I always want to kind of figure it out. You know. And for you, it sounds like you're describing it as if it was a transition.
it definitely was a transition. It was. I can agree to that.
Okay.
I think confidence in general is always going to be a transition because, like I said, I'm still in some ways insecure. But there's days when I feel like I'm literally like the man. Like I'll wake up feeling. I'm telling you, like I don't even want to sound like that, but it's some days I'll just wake up, I'll get in the mirror, and I'm like, you really like. I just start licking my lips, and then there's some days I'll just really be like, I'm just not feeling it today. Like about a week ago, me and my brother, we got into a big fight. I lost my voice. I was super insecure about it. I lost my voice. I had to go to work the next day. I didn't want to talk to nobody. Because I was yelling at him so much, didn't even think about how much it was going to affect me. Then I start trying to regularly talk. I'm like, I'm hearing all rasp. Can't even really talk. I go to work the next day. I have to deal with customers and stuff. I can't even really talk. I didn't even want to talk to nobody.
So the last thing I want to ask you is, what advice do you give a young person with albinism growing up who might look in that mirror and still view themselves as unattractive or struggle with insecurities? A young person, what advice do you give that person?
I would just say beauty has no standard. I would say that people put a standard on beauty because they don't see that standard within themselves, so they try to put it on somebody else. I learned that a lot, that when people judge you, it's really them judging themselves. So just love yourself through it all, and eventually they'll come to love you.
And that's very true. That there's a term for that. It's called projection. And projection is the psychological term for when people literally project their own insecurity onto you. So if I'm insecure about my weight, I'll call you fat because that's how I feel about myself. You know what I mean? And a lot of people do that. And that's one thing I had to learn about life. A lot of times people doubt you, people be negative to you, people say these things to you because that's how they feel about themselves.
But another thing that I would like to say to people with albinism is, honestly, we all judge, so who can we be mad at anybody to judge us?
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I judge somebody in some way. I know everybody in this hotel do. There's you'll walk in the store and you're like, she stank, or she musty, or he don't. I don't like those shoes. Everybody judges somebody.
And you know what? And that's why I've never been mad at people bullying me or teasing me for my albinism, because
that's why I'm saying the transition that I came in as an adult made me truly realize that. Sitting there thinking like, damn, Jordan, how can you get mad about you saying this woman calling you white as fuck when you was just talking about this woman Keiko's in the store? Right. You can't get mad about this stuff when you give out what you receive. You know, you receive what you give out on you.
And it's normal, no matter what it is. If a person was 6'7", people are gonna joke on him about being tall.
Yeah.
If you 5'1", people are gonna joke about you being short. If you 200 pounds, people are gonna joke about you being fat. Everybody gets joked on and teased at some point about something. So we all do, you know, and that's why I never was upset about people teasing me for my albinism, because it's something we all do. You're gonna tease the kid who, when you're a young kid in middle school, you're gonna tease the kid who has a weird name. You're gonna tease the kid who's fat.
My niece does this now. She's my own niece, but she does it not even actually realizing what she's doing.
Right.
Like she'll pick up and be like, "Uncle, you so white." I'm like,
right.
like, okay.
Right.
Like you're not even noticing it, but okay, you bully.
Right. Yeah, my daughter do that. Like my daughter say daddy's white or something like that. She don't know better. You know what I mean? So, you know. Right. Yeah, and I think that you gave some really good advice. You know, you're telling the young kids to understand that beauty is within them and to not fall under the standards of what other people perceive them as. And
I think when I definitely started like trying to feel, but not just trying to judge myself off of what everybody else was saying about me, because that was my first mistake right there. Thinking what everybody else was saying and looking at myself saying, damn, that's true. Damn, no. Judging myself off of what I think. And then what you think about yourself, that beauty starts to come on to you.
yeah.
Like I literally thought, like when I first graduated, I was so insecure. I thought I was so horrible. Like I told you, I started doing the photo shoots, and the more I started looking at those photo shoots, the more I just started seeing small progression. I was like, damn, hold on, next photo, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this next photo. Next photo, I'm gonna smile a little bit more. Next photo, I'm gonna put my hair back a little. It's like small little different stuff that I just started doing it. And honestly, that stuff like boosted my confidence. I feel confident enough to do a photo shoot in front of a whole group of people. Wow. And I never was confident enough to do that, like ever. Wow. I was only confident enough to do a photo shoot in front of the photographer. Wow. Now I feel like I can do it within a studio with people.
Wow. I really like your story, man. It's not often that I get a story like yours. Like usually I get the people who are confident, but they always been confident, or I get the people who are insecure, but they always been insecure. And with your story, it's such a transition, and that's why I like your story so much, because you're talking about how you overcome it, you know. And I think that that's really, really good, man. And
I can't wait to finish making my music. I definitely want to share it to you because it'll tell you a lot more than you even know.
Well, I thank you for coming and doing this podcast with me, man. I really appreciate it, bro.
I appreciate you too, man.
Definitely, man. Another amazing episode of Life with Albinism podcast. Everybody stay tuned. You can go to lifewithalbinism.com and check out all the new merch, all the new episodes that we got going on. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we out.